Yeah, right, that will take time as well. Okay, so let's grab 2 blocks to start. You can also turn your mat to be parallel with mine.
Okay.
Just place the blocks on either end of the mat. We're going to start with Ardha Chandrasana or half moon pose, so just have a look. Notice that I come through Utthita Trikonasana to come into the pose. The full pose has the top arm extended, but we'll start with this hand on the hip. See how I maintain the alignment we find in Utthita Trikonasana of the center of the thigh, center of the knee, center of the foot in one line. And then I press the inner edge of the foot down as I draw up through the standing leg and stack the hips. See how I reach the heel strongly behind me as I reach the crown of the head in the other direction and grow the body in both directions. Okay, so let's give it a shot. Yeah, place your blocks on the back of the mat. Stand in Tadasana. Bring the hands up to the chest and then bend the knees, jump wide. We'll turn the right leg out from the top of the thigh. Toes point to the yellow wall. Back toes in slightly. Check to see that the heel of the front foot of your right foot intersects the arch of the back foot. Good. Press down through the feet. Draw up through the legs. Exhale into Utthita Trikonasana. Now let's take this top arm on the hip to take that out of the equation. Bend the front leg. Step in with the back leg and place the block 8 to 10 inches in front of your front foot. Now simultaneously press into the standing leg and straighten and lift the flying leg up. Good. See that the standing leg is aligned, center of the thigh, knee, and foot in one line, and then firmly press into the inner edge of the standing leg foot and draw up through that leg. Now reach the heel straight back towards the rope wall and reach the crown of the head to the yellow wall. Grow longer in both directions. Good. Now with control, reach back through that back foot. Come back to Utthita Trikonasana. And then lift up and we'll go to the other side. So turn the left leg out from the top of the thigh. Right toes in. Find that heel to arch alignment in the feet. And then exhale into Utthita Trikonasana. Take the top arm to the hip. Bend that front leg, step in with the back foot, place the block, and then simultaneously straighten the standing leg and lift the flying leg up. Good. Look at that standing leg. See that the knee, thigh, and center of the foot are aligned, and then firmly press into the inner edge of that foot and draw up through the leg. Good. Now reach the heel towards the yellow wall and the head towards the rope wall. Grow long. Good. Now step back into Utthita Trikonasana and lift up. Turn the feet parallel and jump together. Okay, so let me show you what I saw. I'm going to show you from the side here. So I'm exaggerating this, but you see how my standing leg buttock is pushing out a little bit here. So this time, as I press into the inner edge of the foot, I'm going to draw up through the leg, especially from the outer knee to the outer hip, and move this buttock under the pose so the hips are stacked. And you can see that when I do that, the torso starts to open up. So we're going to use that action in the legs to open the torso to the ceiling, roll the shoulder back to open more, and then add the arm and reach the limbs, all the limbs away from the center of the body to grow long. Woo! Okay. Okay, so replace your blocks. Stand in the center of your mat, in Tadasana. Hands to the chest, bend the knees, jump wide. Good, turn out from the top of the thigh, turn that right leg out, turn the back toes in. And with an exhale, come into Utthita Trikonasana. Take the top arm to the hip to start. Bend that front leg. Step in with the back leg. Place the block. And then press into the inner edge of that foot to straighten the leg and lift the flying leg up. Good. Now as you press into the inner edge of that foot, draw up from the outer right knee to the outer hip and take the right buttock under the pose. Nice. Feel how that starts to open the chest. Now really reach through this heel. Press into my hand with your heel. Yes, reach the hand in the other direction. Or sorry, the head in the other direction. Take the hand back to the hip. Roll that shoulder back. And then add the arm and reach all the limbs away from the center of the body. Nice pose. Now reach back through that foot to come out into Utthita Trikonasana. And lift up. Good. Second side. Last time. Turn that left foot out from the top of the thigh. Right toes in. Exhale into Utthita Trikonasana. We'll start with this top hand on the hip. Bend the front leg. Step in. Place the block. And right away, press into the inner edge of that foot as you straighten the standing leg and draw up through that leg. Good. Now go to the outer knee of the left leg and draw up from the outer knee to the outer hip. Take that left buttock under the pose. Feel how that starts to open the chest. And as you reach through the heel and through the crown of the head, roll that right shoulder back to open more. And then extend the top arm and reach all the limbs away from the body. Nice. And then bend that front leg. Step back into Utthita Trikonasana. That's a tricky moment.
Yeah.
And then reach up through that top arm. Turn the toes to face forward and jump the legs together. Good. Okay. So we're going to go to the wall now. We're going to do Adho Mukha Svanasana for downward facing dog pose. Let me show you the pose. So see how I have my hands turned out, first finger and thumb at the wall. See how I press firmly into the hands, into the wall, and down into the mat, and rotate the upper arms from inner to outer. See how I maintain that as I draw up through the arms and take the tops of the thighs back to lengthen the sides of the waist. So let me just show you from this perspective what I'm doing in my arms. Notice that if I don't work that rotation, as I go back, I sink into the shoulder sockets and the deltoids start to crowd the ears, yeah? Mm-hmm. So by turning the hands out, we're already giving ourselves a head start. And then I rotate the upper outer arms and maintain that, rotating in this direction, inner to outer, as I take the tops of the thighs back. See how the neck has much more space now. Mm-hmm. Okay? Okay, so take the hands to the wall. Right away, press in the hands into the wall and down into the mat, and feel that rotation of the upper arms from inner to outer. Good, now tuck the toes, lift the knees up, maintain that work in the arms, press more into the hands, and then take the tops of the thighs back to lengthen the sides of the waist. Now notice if you started to drop into your shoulders, and really maintain this rotation in the upper arms as you go back. Nice, now bend the knees and come down. We're going to work a little deeper with that. So come close so you can see my upper back. I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit, but you got good movement in the sides of the waist, but can you see how my upper back is still curved a little bit? So this time we're going to find all those actions, press the hands down, rotate the upper arms from inner to outer, and then before we go all the way back, you're going to look forward and take the collarbones forward. Feel how that activates the dorsal spine, or the part of the spine that's right in between the shoulder blades. And then from there, I'll take the tops of the thighs back and move the dorsal spine into the body and closer to the mat. So instead of going down from the head, we're going to go down from the dorsal spine. Okay? Let's give it another shot. So place the hands at the wall. Feel how that rotates the arms from inner to outer, and then work that action even more in the upper arms. Good. Lift the knees. Feel that action in the arms, and then look towards the wall and reach the collarbones towards the wall. Feel how that activates the dorsal spine. Good. Now draw your ribs back a little bit. It's not the ribs. Yep, ribs back. Feel the dorsal spine move in. Now as you take the tops of the thighs back, feel that you're moving from that upper part of the back, the part right in between the shoulder blades, that's what's reaching closer and closer to the floor as you maintain the work in the upper arms. Yes, and then release the neck. Will the ribs move back as the dorsal spine moves in? Nice, and then you come forward, take the knees down, and come out. Nice, okay, we're going to do Spieser-Schneider or head support pose. So this is the full pose. But to start, we're going to work in Spieser-Schneider, and I'm just going to show you the actions in the back that we're going to focus on here. This is Spieser-Schneider, half head support pose. See how I press down through the whole forearm, and by that I mean from the wrist all the way to the elbow, as I lift the shoulders up away from the ears. See how I then move the shoulder blades into the back and move the dorsal spine, the part we just activated in Adho Mukha Svanasana, into the body and lift the back ribs up. And I lift the outer hips up to grow even longer in the torso. Okay? So we'll just start, you can stay right where you are at the wall. So interlace the hands all the way to the webbing. Place the palms, or the hands on the mat so that the elbows are right underneath the shoulders. You can check that. And then so that the wrists are really stacked, inner wrists on top of the outer wrists, so you don't want to be splaying out or pushing in. And then lift your thumbs up, place the crown of the head down in the cup of your hands, nice. And then you can cross your thumbs or touch your thumb tips, whichever you prefer. Now right away, press the whole forearm down into the mat here. Feel that action strongly. Now lift the knees up. And again, press the forearms down into the mat, lift the shoulders up away from the ears. Now locate the shoulder blades and pin the shoulder blades into the back ribs. Move the dorsal spine in and lift up. Good, and then walk the feet in a little bit. And again, press down through the forearms, lift the shoulders up, pin the blades to the back ribs and move the dorsal spine in and up. And now lift the outer hips. Oh, no, we're staying down. Now lift the outer hips to feel maximum length in the sides of the body, but keep moving the dorsal spine away from the wall. Yeah, nice. Okay, come on down and have a rest. Okay, so good work. So just have a look here. So we're going to maintain all that work. Press the forearms down, lift the shoulders away from the ears. I pin the shoulder blades in and move the dorsal spine into the body, away from the wall and up. And then I'm going to have a swinging leg and a kicking leg. So you can swing with bent or straight legs. You swing to the wall. And then once at the wall, join the legs like one and reach up. So now I return to the base. See how I press the forearms down as I lift from the outer armpits all the way up through the legs to lengthen the whole body. And I take the dorsal spine in and up and the tailbone in and up to lengthen the back body even more up through the heels. Okay? And to come down, I keep one leg straight and take one leg down slowly with control, okay? So interlock the fingers all the way to the webbing. Place the hands. Check that the elbows are underneath the shoulders and that the wrists are stacked. Inner wrist on top of the outer wrist. Good, now widen the thumbs. Place the crown of the head down. And then you can cross the thumbs or touch the tips. Right away, activate those forearms down into the mat. Then lift the knees up. Press the forearms down, lift the shoulders up. Move the dorsal spine in and up, and then choose a swinging leg and a kicking leg, and kick to the wall. Nice. Join the legs right away, and go back to your base now. Press down through the forearms, and lift up from the armpits all the way up through the legs. Okay, now move the dorsal spine in and up. Move the tailbone in and up, but now take your ribs back. Yeah, so tailbone in and up, lower ribs back. Nice, there you go. Reach up through the heels and grow long. Nice work. Okay, to come down, keep one leg reaching towards the ceiling and bring the other down. Come all the way down and rest in Adho Mukha Virasana for a moment. Yeah, just take a couple breaths. Okay, and then we'll come back to the center of the room, and you can have your mat lengthwise this time. And just so we're prepared for the rest of our poses, let's grab a third blanket and a belt. And then you can keep everything else that you have here. Okay, so we're going to do Paripurna Navasana, or boat pose. So have a look. So this is the full pose. We're going to start with our hands back so we can work on the actions without being as focused on the balance element. So see how I reach through the inner legs, from the inner groins out the inner heels, as I lengthen the sides of the waist. See how I work to take the abdomen back to the spine and up, but also take the back ribs in and up, right? So you can see that if you overdid either one of those, you'd be pushed off. So the abdomen moves back and up, and the back ribs move in and up to come into the pose. Okay, so let's give it a shot. Start in Dandasana. And then place your hands just back behind you at your hips. Bend the knees. And now right here, feel that the abdomen starts to hollow out. So the abdomen moves back to the spine and lifts up. And simultaneously, the back ribs move into the body and up. Good, now maintain that. Lengthen through from the inner groins out the inner heels to come into the pose. Now as you lengthen, lift both sides of the waist up. Feel that the head is in line with the spine. And again, move the abdomen back and up, and then the back ribs in and up. Good, and then the knees to rest. Okay, good work. So we're gonna, this is how we're gonna do it this time, to find those actions in the torso a little deeper and then try to come into the full pose. Oops. So this time, we're gonna start with bent legs and we're gonna add the arms. So see how I draw the arms back into the sockets to help with the lift of the chest. And then we're going to focus here on that abdomen back and up, back ribs in and up. See if we can find that. And then add the legs at the last one. All right? So start again in Dandasana. Place the hands. Bend the knees and rock back, and keep the knees bent as you come in to the balance. Now extend the arms and draw the arms back into the sockets. Feel how that charges the chest. Good, now take the abdomen back and up into underneath the ribs and move the back ribs into the body and lift up. Nice, now maintain that work. Keep lengthening both sides of the waist and add the legs. Reach from the inner groins out the inner heels. Nice. Good, and then bend the legs and come down, have a rest. Good work. That's not an easy one. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do Marichiasana 3, which is a pose named for the sage Marichi. I'm going to show you from the side here so you can see my back. Okay. So we were just in Dandasana briefly, coming into boat pose. See how I maintain Dandasana actions in this leg. So I reach from the inner groin, out the inner heel, and I roll the inner thigh towards the mat so the toes stay pointed straight towards the ceiling. And then as I do that, I work to lengthen up through both sides of the waist, press the armpit into the knee, and the knee back into the armpit, and turn. Okay? So we'll start with 2 blankets. And we'll start again sitting in Dandasana. And let's bend the right knee to start. And place that foot so that the heel is in line with the sits bone and as close to the blankets as possible. And then hold on to that knee and lift up through both sides of the waist right here as you extend from the inner groin out the inner heel. Nice. Now reach up through the left arm, grow long, and with an exhale, hook the left elbow to the left knee. Good. Now see that Dandasana leg is still working, so reach out through the leg there. And then as you do that, reach up through both sides of the waist, grow long. As you grow long, press the outer left armpit into the outer knee and turn. Good. With an inhale, lengthen both sides of the waist more, grow long. And then with an exhale, turn. Move both shoulder blades down the back here. Yeah, leave some space for the neck. Nice. Now as you come out of the pose, grow longer to come back to face front. Yeah, nice. And then switch legs. Take the left leg now, up close to the sits bone. And hold on to that knee, grow long in both sides of the waist. And then reach up through that right arm, get extra length, and with an exhale, hook the right arm across the left knee. Good, now see that Dandasana leg is still alert. Reach out through that inner heel, and then lengthen up through both sides of the waist. Press the outer arm into the outer knee and turn. With an inhale, grow long in the sides of the waist. With an exhale, turn more. See that the shoulders don't creep up. Move the shoulders down, shoulder blades down the back. Nice. Good. And then grow long to come out of the pose. And come back to Dandasana. Okay, we're going to work to go a little bit deeper into this pose here. So let me show you my back. So you probably noticed that there's this gap in between the thigh and the opposite ribs. So this time we're going to use the free arm to help work that outer arm down and see if we can really make it in the outer armpit to the outer knee. And then from there we're going to work a little deeper in the back action. So see how I roll the back shoulder, in this case my right shoulder, back, and that shoulder blade moves in towards the spine and pushes forward to the front of the body to take the right ribs back. Now simultaneously, this shoulder blade actually moves away from the spine. You can see it's reaching out, but also pushes into the front of the body to take those ribs forward. Can you see those actions? Mm-hmm. All right, let's do it one more time. So bend start with the right knee, yeah? Mm-hmm. All right. And line the heel up with the sits bones. Charge that Dandasana leg. Lift up through both sides of the waist. And then lengthen up with that left arm. With an exhale, hook across. Now use the right arm to help move the opposite ribs across, the left ribs across, and work that arm down the leg. Yeah, nice. Go deeper there. Now take your mind's eye to your back body. Roll the right shoulder back and move that shoulder blade in towards the spine and forward towards the front of the body to take the right ribs back. Now simultaneously move the left shoulder blade away from the spine and forward into the body to take these ribs forward. Yeah, and breathe. Good, and then grow long to come face the front. Longer all the time, and come back to Dandasana.
Yeah. So do I want to stay, when I'm twisting, do I want to stay this close to...
You are leaned forward in the pose.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still working to evenly lengthen both sides of the waist, but you're not in this same vertical. It does become a little bit of a forward hinge there. Yeah. All right, so bend, the left leg, and charge that Dandasana leg, and then use the hand on the knee here to lift both sides of the waist evenly. Feel what it feels like to have even length in both sides of the waist here. Now extend up through the right arm, and with an exhale, hook across. Good, now use that left hand to help encourage the right ribs around and work the arm further down the knee. Nice, so we're really working from the outer armpit to the outer knee. Now feel the sides of the waist, both lengthen here, and then take your mind's eye to your back body. Roll that left shoulder back, move the blade in towards the spine and forward towards the front of the body, and feel how that helps bring these ribs back. And then move the right shoulder blade away from the spine and forward into the body to bring these ribs forward. And now let the shoulder descend. And inhale, grow long. Exhale, turn. Nice. Grow even longer to come back to Dandasana. And stretch both legs out and rest. Nice. Okay, so we're going to set our blankets up just like we would for Salamba Sarvangasana. We're going to do Parshva Halasana here. So you'll need 3 blankets, storage size. And you can put those towards the front of your mat. And then you'll make a loop in your belt that goes shoulder tip to shoulder tip. And then you can have a block at the fringe side for you to sit on. And then you can have a look here. Okay, so notice I come through Halasana and through Supta Konasana. And then this is the pose. So see how, similar to Shirshasana, even though this is a very different orientation, I pressed all the way down through the upper arm. So from the shoulders to the elbows this time, I firmly press the upper outer arms down as I use the hands to help move the back ribs in and up. See how I lift the outer hips up and the inner knees up. So the legs are straight and strong, and I'm growing longer and longer in the sides of the body. And then to switch sides, we come through Supta Konasana and come to the other side, again pressing the upper outer arms down, lifting the back ribs in and up, outer hips up, inner knees up. And then to come out, come through Supta Konasana to Halasana. I'll take the belt off, look back, take the arms back, and slowly roll out with control. Now, in these sorts of poses, we need to practice ahimsa, or non-harming, and really be sure that we do not turn our neck once we're in the pose. Yeah, so just like Salamba Sarvangasana. So go ahead and lay down on your setup. Make sure that you have your belt in your hand. And measure so the tops of your shoulders are a couple inches away from the edge of the blanket. Head is on the ground. Now, grab the sides of your mat here and rotate the upper arms from inner to outer and lift the chest. Good, now swing the legs over, come into Halasana or plow pose. And then go ahead and put the belt on so it's just above your elbows on your upper arms. Take the hands to the back now. Now open the legs wide to Supta Konasana. And then keep the right leg where it is and bring the left leg to join the right leg. Good, press firmly down through the upper outer arms. Use the hands to move the back ribs in and up. And now lift the outer hips up. Lift this hip a little more. Yeah, and the inner knees up. So the legs are straight and strong. And the sides of the waist are getting longer and longer. This is Parsva Halasana or lateral plow pose. Good, now come back to Supta Konasana. And then bring the right leg to join the left leg. Good, press down through the upper outer arms. You can actually walk your feet a little bit more towards your head. Yeah, there you go. Now move the back ribs in and up as you press the upper arms down. Nice. Lift the outer hips up and lift the inner knees up. So the legs are straight and strong. Sides of the waist growing longer and longer. Nice pose. Now come back to Supta Konasana. We're going to do it one more time. And this time I just want you to notice one of the heels wants to inch ahead of the other, right? So whichever heel that is, we're going to counter that by drawing back from the outer knee to the outer hip like we did in Ardha Chandrasana at the beginning of class and evening the heels. And then once they're even, we'll press the heels together and feel the legs become one. So let's take the left leg to the right leg. Press down through the outer upper arms. Use the hands to move the back ribs in and up. Lift the outer hips. Lift the inner knees. Oh, good. You're already more even. Now draw back from this outer knee to the outer hip slightly. Yes. And now bring the heels together. Squeeze the heels together like one leg. Yes. Nice. Good. Then come to Supta Konasana. And then last time, last side, bring the right leg to the left. Press down through the outer upper arms. Again, walk your feet a little bit towards your head. Good. Use the hands to move the back ribs in and up. And then draw back this outer hip to outer knee. Even the heels. Good. And press the heels together as you lift the outer hips up, lift the inner knees up. Legs are straight and strong. Sides of the waist are long. Nice pose. Good. Come back to Supta Konasana. And then come to Halasana. Take your belt off. Bring the arms over the head and look back towards the feet as you bend the knees and roll out with control. Nice. And then just push off the blanket so that your shoulders are on the floor, hips are on the blankets, and have a little rest. Good, and then roll to your right side. And you can just put everything away and lay down for Halasana. We still have a few minutes, which I don't think I would have if there were more people. But that's good. That's good practice. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, no. It was good.